Hello there, lovely humans. I have a video of someone I've learned to enjoy. Dave Allen on driving, 1993, my year. Part 1, I have part 2 lined up, so we're just going to watch it all because I'm not exactly sure why it's divided up in 2 parts, but whatever. Anyway. That's it. That's the intro. Let's do this.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. It's very kind of you. And welcome to the show. One of the questions I'm asked when I work on television, is it a stressful event? Do you feel stress before a show? Yes, it's kind of nerves. But in what I would call the table of stress, the most stressful thing actually we go through is death of a spouse. That's the most stressful thing, followed by divorce, followed by moving house, followed by Christmas Day, followed by driving. So I suppose the most stressful thing you could do is take your dead ex-spouse to have a look at the house that you're going to move into on Christmas Day. Personally, I find myself in this modern age, I find driving extraordinarily stressful. It should be easy. It should be, you know, get into a car in your own time, drive at your own leisure, park at your own leisure, do what you ever have to do and come back in your own leisure. But it's not like that. It's just stressful. You're thinking, I'm going to be late. Oh, God, I'm going to be late. Oh, Jesus, I'm going to get there. There's going to be a traffic jam. Oh, God, what am I going to do? There's going to be a traffic jam. What I'll do? Oh, yes, what I'll do? Yes, I'll go the shortcut. That's what I'll do. I'll go on the shortcut. I won't take the long way. I'll go the shortcut. And then you think, no, all the other people know there's a shortcut, so they'll take the shortcut. No, I'll go on the long way. All those bastards who wouldn't go the shortcut, they'll go the long way, so the long way is going to be a traffic jam. Shit! Then you think, what lane will I go in? You ever get to that point? What lane will I get in? Shall I go on the inside lane? Middle lane, the outside lane? I'll go on the inside lane. I'll go on the inside. That's all right. I'll drive on the inside lane. That's nice, smooth, quiet, gentle. Some bastard will park a lorry there. Then I'll have to come into the middle lane, and those people in the middle lane won't let me in, the bastards. Then you think, I'll go on the outside lane. Then what about the bastards who are turning right? You're stuck behind those bastards. You go in the middle lane. And you spend all your time waiting for people to come out from behind lorries and turning right. This is before you even get in the car. Sitting there thinking, where will I park it? Have I got the money? Have I got the right money? They keep on changing those parking meters. Have I got 20p, 50p? Is it a 10p? Is it a new 10p? Will the old 5p pit? But just... And the whole kind of parking. I mean, I spend my life parking. Spreading out in an ever-encroached circle, getting larger. Looking for somebody who's walking up the road with the car keys in the hand. That's him, I follow him. I get done for curb crawling, for Christ's sake. And you see you fellas are the same. They get into the car, and they sit there, and you kind of, like a spaniel, you go... And they go... They get on the phone. Women, I love women, but Jesus, women. Why can't they just get into a car and drive off? I say to her, are you leaving? Yes. And she gets in. And she spends half an hour rummaging in her handbag looking for her car keys. Why in the name of Christ do women put so much crap in their bags?
How'd you get in without
They
the
just
car
swirl it all around. Have you ever seen them? They just... That's not him. They keep on putting the crap back in again. They check the mirror, they check their hair, they check the makeup. They put the belt on, they ruffle their hair, they take the belt off.
Oh my God, 2 times in a row this happened to me. 2 times in a row that I have gotten in my car and I get in, and I close the door, but my hair is still outside. That hurts. I don't know if my hair got poofier or fluffier or longer or what happened, but it's 2 times in a row. That pisses me off, dude. That hurts. That sucks. Also, I take a long time to start my car, but not because I'm rummaging through anything. But because my car is old and it takes a while to warm up, because if I do not wait for it to warm up, it won't go. So, I'm waiting. Also, if people do come and ask me, I'll just move and warm up the car, a few feet forward. You can park, it's fine. I don't mind. Just let me warm up my car.
I'm waiting to get in, and there's an arsehole behind me. Beep, beep. Flash me, so I drive off. They drive off.
We're listening to that again. How is he doing that?
I'm waiting to get in, and there's an arsehole behind me. Beep, beep.
Wow!
Flash me, so I drive off. They drive off, and the bastard takes my parking brake. And I tell you another phenomenon now in this day and age. That group of men who hover around traffic lights in bomber jackets, waiting to clean your windscreen. I don't want my windscreen cleaned. I feel totally intimidated now. I drive up, I see them, I go through the red lights to get away from them.
I turn on the windshield wipers. Like, you're not, because in Argentina, they'll do it anyway. They won't ask. They'll just come and do it. So you're obligated to pay them. And then if you say, no, don't pay them, they'll just kind of like leave it like that. So you're screwed. So if I'm the first car that's at a red light and I see them, I stay way back. So they have to actually come actively walk and find me. And they don't even waste time. And if they do, windshield wipers are on. I don't care if I'm scratching the bejesus out of the glass or whatever because of all the dust. I always wash it before I leave anyway. I have a really weird thing about that. I cannot leave if the front, the back, that's backwards. The front, the back, and the review mirrors, they have to be impeccable. Impeccable, because if they are not and the sun hits and I can't see, I'm gonna die or I'm gonna kill someone. So yes, I have a weird thing about that. So that's never an issue, but they try to clean it anyway. They don't care. So yeah, windshield wipers works like a charm.
They're cleaning cars all day. Where are they getting the water from? They don't, do they? Jesus. And that's their whole business now. They sell flowers now. Sell newspapers. In the summer, they sell you cold drinks. In winter, they're selling hot drinks. Where do they get the water from? Tell you what, being a motorist, one of the most irksome thing about being a motorist is to stand or be in traffic that's slowly moving and be continually passed by a pedestrian.
Or a biker.
He does it 3 or 4 times and you're thinking, you bastard! Why don't you walk around the block? Go the other way, you arsehole!
Yep.
And actually being a pedestrian, that's great. To walk past the same motorist 3 or 4 times. If you really want to get up the nose of a motorist, stand at the zebra crossing. And don't do anything, just stand there. And they stop, and they go. What are you doing standing there? I don't want to cross. Well, don't stand at the bloody zebra crossing! Go over there, you arsehole! I don't know, I don't really know what cars are extraordinary, what they bring. We become totally territorial. Have you noticed that within yourself? When you're in a car, you become territorial. You fight for an inch, a yard, a centimetre. You sit there blowing your horn at somebody in front of you who hasn't taken up that 6 inches between him and the next guy. Come on, asshole, move up, what are you doing there? And why does that happen when you're in a car? You don't do that when you're a pedestrian, do you? You don't feel territorial when you're walking up the road, do you? You don't feel aggressive. You bump into somebody as a pedestrian. You don't back off and say, you apologize. You say, oh, I'm sorry, I beg your pardon. Sorry, I beg your pardon. No, it was my fault. No, after you. After you. No. Somebody passes you when you're walking up the road. You don't race after them, do you?
I never understood why people have such problem with being overtaken. I mean, why? It doesn't bother me that the guy behind me or next to me wants to get in front of me. I never understood that. I mean, I'm usually going the speed limit, or maybe a little bit more, so it doesn't happen much, but I never understood the issue with that. I mean, the other day, I can't remember what I saw that had to do with, I don't remember if it was a short, I don't know, memory. Anyway, it brought back, it was somebody that happened, and they were furious about it, and it brought back a scene in Dexter. Well, Dexter was a psycho, but still, a car overtook him, and he got so mad, he stopped, and, well, he was having a little fit, and he almost killed the guy, and he just calmed down when he saw there was a kid in the back. What's the big deal? Just, I mean, you're still gonna get to where you need to go. I don't know. It's just weird to me.
You bastard, get up, get up! And when you're a pedestrian...
Did he just scratch his face with his non-existent finger?
And when you're a pedestrian, you're much nicer. You wear a different suit as a pedestrian. I'm walking down the road the other day, and there's a car coming up towards me, driven by a woman, and the blinkers are going. They're just going blink, blink, blink. She drives up the road. Now, if I was driving behind her, I would be thinking, you silly old cow, put your bloody blinkers off. But as a pedestrian, I feel helpful. I go, blinkers. And this woman looks at me and goes, this nice lady with a veil and a crucifix, gee. I mean, the change that takes place in yourself. I was walking down the road recently. It's a little old woman standing on the, and she said, and she's just, you know, so I said, can I help you cross? And she says, oh, yes, please. So I actually go out, and I stop the traffic. Stop, please. Stop, please. And I get this little old lady, and I help her across the road. And I say, are you all right now? And she says, yes, I'm fine, thank you very much indeed. It's very good of you. And that's it. I go around the corner, get into my car, drive around the corner. There's a silly old bitch in the middle of the road now. And I don't want to help her now. I want to run her over and say, get out, get my car! And have you noticed as a driver, once you get behind the wheel of a car, you call into question the legitimacy of every other driver. You don't sit there.
George Carlin used to say that everybody going faster than you is a maniac and everybody going slower than you is a moron. Maybe not those words, but basically. And he had a little bit in a book. Oh, I don't remember. He always had the same name for whoever he was with, but like, oh my God, Marsh, did you see that guy? Look at that maniac go. He's going to kill everybody. Oh, and look at this asshole. Get out of the way. But it's so true. The only proper speed to go is to match mine and out of my way. Otherwise, you're just, no, you're doing it wrong.
There and think, look at that silly man there. What the hell does he think? What is that bloke up to? You think, bastard. Look at that bastard, look at him. Stupid bastard. And you relate to them how they look, the fat bastard, ugly bastard, bald, look at that bald bastard! You don't have one iota.
I've noticed that, I don't know 30 years ago if that was a thing, but I've noticed nowadays, when the cars that drive the worst and break the most laws and do everything wrong and are the most dangerous and almost kill you and overtake you in a way that, if you don't slam on the brakes, you're gonna die. Those cars usually are completely tinted, so you cannot see what that person looks like and how big of an idiot they actually are, if it's written on their face or not. You just can't tell.
Of racialism, and you're going, you black, get out, you yellow, get out of the road. Xenophobia creeps in. When you see foreign plates, you don't think, oh, there's a visitor to the country.
You know what? Actually, every time I see foreign plates, it depends where the plates are from, but I usually say, I usually think, how the hell did that car get all the way over here? I don't know. It just sometimes it trips me out because between where I am and where that car is supposedly from, there's either, you know, I get that there's boats and stuff, but there's either gigantic mountains or just weird stuff to say, you know what? I want this car to go over the mountain and be over there. It's just, I don't know. Just rent a car. It's weird. That's the only thing I think about. The journey that car has been on.
And there's the thing of ourselves. We consider ourselves to be the perfect driver.
Of course.
We're all perfect drivers.
Yep.
We are the one person in the world who never makes a mistake.
Not true, but...
We drive perfect. You sit there and you analyze other people. See somebody trying to park and you're thinking, stupid bastard. He'll never get it in there, for God's sake. Any cretin could see. Shit, he did. How did he do that? A lucky bastard.
All about luck.
The generosity of drivers. It can get you, actually, being a generous driver, in many ways, can get you into trouble.
You know another thing I love about this? I'm in a completely different country, 30 years later, and everything is still perfectly applicable. Nothing has changed. The only thing out of everything he said that has changed is the selling newspapers on the corner, because physical newspapers aren't really a thing anymore. But everything else is just still spot on. We haven't changed. And again, across oceans, same thing.
And I live in Kensington. I'm driving down Kensington High Street recently. There's a man who wants to come out from a left-hand corner, turning. And nobody's giving him any way at all. So I think, poor bastard. I let him in. And I let him in.
And then you regret it instantly.
He, I suppose, feels because somebody's shown a generous act to him, he goes down the road, and he decides to let somebody in.
Been there.
And they drive down the road, and they let somebody in. So by the time I get to Hammersmith, there's 18 cars in front of me. That wouldn't have been there, and I'm thinking, what did I do? What did you do that for? What? And there is the point. Have you ever been...
Or when you let someone in from like a garage or whatever, you're like, oh man, nobody's gonna let him in. I'll let him in. And they are the worst driver ever, or they're constantly on their phone and they won't go. I still do it, but I still regret it. I mean, now I maybe think twice. It doesn't happen all the time. I used to let, you know, okay, yeah, go. But now, no. Too many people have made me regret it. So, no. Jesus.
When you offer what I would call generosity as a driver, when you let somebody in and they acknowledge that, they just little beep on the horn, and you feel it glow, swelling all over you. And you're sitting there thinking, man, Mr. Nice Guy. There's two of us. There's not all bastards. There's two of us. We're nice. And he acknowledges. And you feel very good. But if he doesn't acknowledge it, have you been in that situation? You want to kill.
Yep.
I'm sitting there, and if he doesn't acknowledge, he just goes, oh, I think, you swine, you prat, by Christ, that is the last time I will ever do that for you. The chances of meeting this driver again don't exist. So you avenge yourself on some poor innocent bastard the next day. You're driving on the road and there's a fellow sitting. No way. I let somebody in yesterday and they didn't even acknowledge it, so up yours. And there's a point where people take advantage also of your generosity. You let somebody into the traffic and other people take advantage of that while you're kind of nodding. Come on.
I hate that too.
And they go, somebody else goes, and you go, wait a second, wait, one. I didn't say two, one. And while you're waiting, three, zip, zip, and then some bastard from the right. And I'm sitting there thinking, what am I? What am I, that fat fart Father Christmas, for Christ's sake?
Oh, part two. Boom.
I'll tell you what, if you want to, the infallible way of finding the idiot, the one idiot in the whole of London, is ask for directions. What happens to people when you ask for directions?
Is London easy to navigate, like the streets and stuff? The other day I was kind of tripping out on, I don't remember what show I was watching, but someone was in New York and they got in a taxi and they're like, take me to 56th and 7th or whatever. And I thought, how convenient that the street names are just numbers, because I mean, you can't really get lost. I mean, there's beaches here that do that, and just wherever you need to go, you know exactly how and where to go. This city in particular, Buenos Aires, freaking mess. There's so many it's a lot of one-way streets, and there's diagonal streets, and then there's just like monuments in the middle of the freaking road, and it just diverts traffic. It's a mess, okay? It's very easy to get lost around here. I'm just kind of wondering, also, blocks is just, it's a mess, people. It's a mess. And you have an area here, neighborhood here, and they have, I don't know, 7 or 8 street names that are then repeated in the area here. So sometimes you hear a street name and you have no idea where it is. It could be any of in Argentina, they just repeat them constantly. And it's crazy. Like, it's a mess. It's so poorly thought out. Is London easy to navigate? That's my question. Does it make sense? Do streets make sense? Is it nice and planned out? Or is it just like it is here? Which also, the fact that it is so chaotic and so horribly mapped out, and also they just, oh man, every time they try to fix it, they make it worse. And that adds a lot of fuel to the road rage fire. People are upset on the streets. And rightly so, because it's a mess. Driving here is a mess.
The brain drops down into their arse.
What?
Ask for directions.
Oh.
The brain drops down into their arse. Totally intelligent, coherent people. You say, excuse me, could you tell me how I get... yes. Now let me see. Yes, you, you go, yes, you go up, and go...
Just go.
Left? Yeah, no, right, left, right. Yeah, you go left and then right, and right. No, maybe you're not pointing in the right direction. No, maybe you better... It's like taking directions from John bloody Major. It's all the people who lean into the car. You ever get those ones? You ask for directions, you've got a head beside you.
I don't like that.
Little dewdrop beginning to come out of the nose.
Ew! Dude, it frustrates me so much when people do that. And I guess since I'm short, it happens a lot with taller guys. They just kind of bend down and get right in your face. Excuse me, no. And part of my job at the theater is to let people in with the tickets and stuff, and I can see the tickets on my phone. And I have to ask them, you know, the name, who the tickets are reserved, in what name or whatever, however you say that properly. And, okay, they get extremely close. It's a narrow hallway already, but then they get extreme. Since I am small, I work on a little step, so I'm not, you know, just looking at everybody like that. So I'm usually quite level with people, but some people get extremely close, very uncomfortably, and I can't back away because the hall is so narrow. I have nowhere to go. It's awful. And a lot of people, which I find very rude, it's mainly men, I've noticed, they get so close, put their head, instead of looking at me with their head right here, they put their head next to mine to look at my phone. Excuse me, who invited you to see what I am seeing? Bugger off. But dude, some people have no sense of personal space. It's crazy. Standing in line for anything, the bank, the doctor, the this, the that, a lawyer, I don't know, to buy pajamas, whatever. Just some people will stand. I'm a person that likes distance. I stand far away from the person in front of me, and then you got some person that'll just freaking put themselves right here. And since I leave space, I go stepping and, you know, equally measuring the distance between the two of them to kind of sort of somewhat be comfortable. And they're like, oh, this person moved, the line is moving. And then they come up and just freaking So yes, I understand.
You don't hear a word they say. You're thinking, all you're thinking is going to drop on my trousers.
I forgot about the boogie.
You get one of those with bad breath. Yes, well, you go.
That's bad.
That's when those automatic windows come into it. Directions. I suppose Ireland is the best place in the world for directions.
Is it really?
People will say to you, I wouldn't start from here if I were you.
Oh, that's helpful.
I was driving to Wicklow town. And outside Wicklow town, there's a kind of country road. And I came to a cross-section. And there was one signpost. And it had Wicklow on it. On the other way, Wicklow. And there was a fellow sitting there, and I said, does it make any difference? He said, not to me, it doesn't.
Fair enough.
A classic on my way to Limerick. And I said to this fellow, I said, do you know where this place is? And he said, yes, oh God, yes. Now, go down the road, straight down the road, following roads. Keep going straight, and you'll see a turn on the right-hand side. Now, ignore that. And then there's a second turn on the right-hand side, ignore that one as well. And there's 2, 3, 4, 5 turns on the right-hand side, ignore them. Then you see a house on the left-hand side, you turn left there, that's where you want to go. And I said, well, why did you tell me about all the right-hand turns? Why didn't you just say, take the first one on the left? And he says, who's giving these directions, me or you?
You know, I just realized my dad would love this guy. I don't know if my dad knows who this person is, but I'm going to have to suggest him to him later because got very similar jokes. My dad is one of those people that my whole life, just anything with anything. Hey, where do you want to meet up? All right, you know that park that's maybe 2 blocks away where one time, we saw a pigeon that was almost dying and we gave it water and we fed it and we saved it and we brought it back to life. And, it had babies and we saw the babies later and everybody was happy. Yeah, okay, there. No, not there. Just the other way. Like, dude, what? So, yeah. Anyway, he'd like him.
Technical advancement in cars. Now, cars have changed. We have, I don't know whether they're increasing the performance of cars, but we have so much gadgetry in cars now. Radios you used to have to fiddle with, didn't you? You have to kind of... Now you beep, you're there. There's CD, there's telephones. There's video now. They've got the video.
Blow your mind.
Video in cars now, which is all that communication between the family when you used to take your kids for a holiday. That's all gone now. All that family fun. Daddy. Chevy
Chase comes to
mind.
mind.
There, Daddy. Where are we going, Daddy? How many miles, Daddy? How long are we going, Daddy? How long are we going to go, Daddy? I want to do wee-wee, Daddy. No, yeah, I want to do jobby, Daddy. Daddy, I did a jobby. Ever come across that vomit, that chain reaction vomit, Daddy? I don't feel...
That used to be me.
Technicolored yawn being splattered across the back of the car. All those games. I Spy with my little eye. What if you were a dyslexic family? All those games.
Into the
I
background.
Spy with my little eye. What if you were a dyslexic family? I Spy with my little eye. Somebody beginning with H. River. Yes. In America now, they have a car which has what they call a voice identification code.
Dude, this is tripping me out. This is 30 years ago? They had these things 30 years ago? Wow. I'm impressed.
When you want to open your car, you speak to it. And that voice identification is registered. So you walk up to your car and you have a code, whatever it is you want to say. You say, good morning, car, or how are you, or whatever it is. And the door will open. What if you got a cold? Pissing down with rain and you can't get into your car. You've been to the dentist. You get done for breaking into your own car. I don't know, in America they have, and in a way it's very good, they have an alcohol detector. That if you have been drinking, you get into your car and you put your key in the ignition key, it won't turn. It just refuses to turn. And if you continue to try and get it to turn, your car's computer will inform the police station's computer that there's a drunk trying to start the car. Your own car squeals on you, for Christ's sake. Mercedes now.
Does that exist?
Have
That
what they
sounds
call,
crazy.
Excuse me, I'm gonna have a little sip of this.
Oh, me too.
Mercedes have what they call automobile intelligence. You have a computer in your car. And if there's any sort of malfunction in any part of the car, your computer will inform you. You'll be sitting there, and the computer will...
Inform
Your windscreen wiper is malfunctioning. Your fan belt is broken. Your carburetor is burst. Your battery is flat. There is a puncture in the front tire. I'd sell this piece of shit if I were you.
Fair enough.
And we have technology reminders. I mean, audio reminders. They're very difficult to deal with because they take on a personality. Cars begin to take on a personality. I've got a car that informs me when the door is open, the door is open. Voice says, door open, door open, door open. Now, every time I open the door of a car, I don't necessarily get in and drive it away. I could have it in the garage. I could be loading it or cleaning it. And he's in there going, door open, door open. And I'm thinking, you silly bastard, aren't you? Door open. You're saying goodbye to your wife and child. You got the door open. Door open. Door open. I know, for Christ's sake. I'm just saying goodbye to my wife and child. You mind? Door open. Safety belt. There's another one.
What? Safety?
Safety belt. There's another one.
Wow, I've never heard that pronounced that way.
That audio reminder. Safety belt. And he's not like, door open. This is a nasty little shit. Safety belt. Safety belt. Safety belt. That's all it keeps going. Safety belt. Safety belt.
I imagine that one is more annoying because it's more important for you to put your seatbelt on than to close the door. If the door kind of sort of stays open, you're not going to die. But missing a seatbelt in a collision, you know, you'll fly out.
My ambition to get into the car and get the belt on before he can say anything.
What?
It's my ambition to get into the car and get the belt on before he can say anything. Gotcha, you bastard. Well, I work out questions. I sit there, I hold it up, and I say, what is this? Safety belt. Very good. It's the law that I must wear my safety belt. Right. I should be fine.
Like Joey trying to tell the girl that he trained his duck. He's like, be white, stay still, stay... Be a duck. And the stripper thought it was cute.
Fine, 50 pounds if I'm not wearing my safety belt. Well, door open. Door closed. I'm sitting there one day in the door, and he says, boot open. Boot open. Boot, little bastard. Lets me get into the car, put my belt on, close the door, then he tells me about the boot. Why in the name of Christ, when I was outside saying goodbye to the wife and why did he say, boot open? Do you know what I do now? I leave the window open. I don't open the door anymore. I climb in the window. I drive to Birmingham. The little bastard doesn't know we've been anywhere.
I thought that sounded like a closure.
Amazing. Voices. And nowadays they used to have in cars your gauge, petrol gauge.
Sure.
Used to be very simple. It used to be E, half F. That was just it. You knew it. When it was E, it was empty. When it was at half, it was half full. When it was F, it was full. You didn't need anything more. Now I have in my car a little symbol of a petrol pump. And when it's full, it's red, it glows. And as it goes lower, it sinks. And when it gets to a certain point, the designers of the car feel that the the driver must be informed that the petrol is going low. You're not capable of working that out with your own head. A voice comes on, petrol, and this is not like the door open or the little bastard, belt.
Dude, I've never been in my entire life in a car that has said any of these things, but thank Jesus, this sounds so annoying, especially on a daily basis.
This is an authoritarian voice. Petrol. Petrol.
Sounds like he's selling it. Get
and the further
petrol.
you go without getting petrol, the designers, I suppose, have inbuilt a slight panic. So this authoritarian voice goes from petrol to petrol. 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 And the further you go, petrol. 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 I run out of petrol purposely. Walking on the road with a can in my hand, the car's going, I told you so, I told you so. You can really give your car a nervous breakdown. Undo your safety belt, open the door, and run out of petrol. Petrol, safety belt. Thank you very much for listening. It's been very kind of you.
You're very welcome. You were very good.
Take care. Drive carefully if you're driving tonight. And if you have a God, I hope that God will go with you. Good night. Thank you.
There you go. That was wonderful. He's not going to do anything. He's going to dance. Nah, he's just going to leave. That was great. I actually like the first part better because I related to it more. The driving part more than the car part. Driving is infuriating, especially in a city. But that was awesome. This guy is very funny. And I'm very glad I stuck with him because the first thing I saw of him, I don't know. I kind of just misinterpreted his humor, I guess. And I took it one way when it was just kind of a bit and I thought he was mean and grouchy. But no, he's very funny and I like him very much and I like the way he tells jokes and I like the way he times stuff and I like the way he speaks and I just like it. I like his topics. He's got good topics. And it's my year, so I mean, what's not to like? Anyway, that was fun. That was really fun. I really enjoyed it, but it is over now, so I am off to probably eat something. Not drive. No, thank you. Not today. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for everything. You've been wonderful. I am off. See you soon.